Hello, my name is Emily Gunn, and I'm going to present to you my ePortfolio. Start with the candidate information. Just a nice little introduction, personal introduction with my video, and I've listed my professional goals and my personal goals as well. I won't go into those too much because there's a lot of other stuff I want to talk about. My leadership philosophy. I really enjoyed this task. It was a really great self-reflection activity, examining my leadership style, and really kind of digging into the heart of my why in education and my why I want to take this next step in my journey. Our school's focus has to be on student achievement and instruction. All students can be successful. We just have to find the right way to get to that success point for every student. In order to do that, we have to have great teachers and quality instruction. Through this reflection process, I found out that I'm a transformational leader, that I lead with the goal and vision in mind. And when that kind of came up, I'm like, yes, absolutely. We have to start with the end in mind. What is the end? What is the vision? What is the goal? And how are we going to get there? And in order to get there, I feel like you have to communicate constantly, communicate about what the goal is, and communicate about the steps and the things that are happening along the way. You have to have transparent communication. You've got to be open and honest and give people the necessary information that they need. And showing teachers this by leading with the end in mind and communicating with them every step of the way, they're going to really buy in and be inspired and motivated to want to do their best as well. Collaboration is also a key. We must work together. We can be motivated and inspired by those around us, by sharing out a lot, communicating a lot about what's working, what's not working, what are you doing, here's what we share. We all have the same goal in mind, student success, and so let's communicate and collaborate about that. We can also have some shared responsibilities in leadership and decision making. And when we do that with a collaborative process, you build trusting relationships, you empower teachers, and they want to continue to grow and do better. Another important part of education is teachers. They're one of our most valuable assets, and they must feel supported and empowered. We must build strong, trusting relationships with them so that they will go into those classrooms day in and day out and do their very, very best. So we have to give them consistent feedback, open and honest feedback. Let them take risks and let them know that their leader supports them and is behind them. And whatever the outcome is, we've got their back. That's empowering. Teachers will know that they can go into the classrooms day in, day out and do their very best. Again, I talk about transparent communication. I talked about that a little bit. It's very, very important that everyone knows your door is open. Come in and talk to me. Whatever the problem is, let's find a mutual way to solve the problem or address the problem. And finally, I do feel like I have a very positive and empathetic attitude. I'm very motivating and inspiring to others, or so I've been told. I have very high expectations, but I feel like I communicate those very well. And I lead by example. I don't feel like I've ever asked anyone to do anything that I would not be willing to go ahead and do myself. So this leadership philosophy was a great activity. I really enjoyed it, and I really can see myself using this document moving forward. My program of study, I started this last spring. I applied in January to the graduate school and thought, I'll start in the summer. And then I kind of got to looking at courses and thought, hey, there's some short courses. I'll get started. So I took 3 courses. And then I started enrolling for the summer, and my superintendent said, hey, is there any way you can be done? We might have kind of an assistant principal for you. Positionship may be open for you. So it's been fast and furious 2 semesters. But I've really learned a lot in this short amount of time. My resume here, pretty self-explanatory. I education, my professional experience, organizations I belong to, and my community involvement. So my annotated bibliography, I was kind of didn't really know how to attack this part of the portfolio at first, but once I dove in, I found myself doing a lot of reading and a lot of reflecting. I kind of chose articles that were near and dear to my heart, things that were happening in my district that, hey, are we making the right decisions? And, even things that I had seen administrators do or some flaws that I didn't agree with, and how can I be better in those situations as a future principal? So those were kind of some of the articles I went for. The first one was about summer school, because I was asked to lead our summer school program this summer. And so I really wanted to make sure that we were attacking that I was attacking that in the right way. So I read a couple summer school articles, read about the principal's role and how it's changed so much, even since I've started in education almost 20 years ago. Looked at how principals can really change schools, and it was kind of along the PLC route. With Dufour, we are a PLC school, and things haven't been real focused the last couple of years, so I really felt like this was something I wanted to look into and check into, and how can we really make this work? How do we change the school for the better? Good article here on how you conduct good faculty meetings. I've sat through many faculty meetings where they're not engaging, and it was the sit and get, and I really don't want to continue on that path. When I lead faculty meetings, so I kind of read some things on there. Proactive communication. I really believe communication is key, and I don't care how good of a communicator you are. Somebody will always tell you need to communicate better. So consistently reading about new and better ways to communicate and get your message out. Tips on how you lead and work with adults. This one, maybe your mirror is fuzzy. It was really good because there's a lot of self-reflection. We're always asked, hey, do you think you do a good job? And so I was really looking at some self-reflection and do you do these things well? And really digging deep, doing some soul searching. So I really liked that one as well. How to work effectively with teachers, how to keep families involved in high school. So I currently work in a high school setting, and family engagement it's difficult. The age of the children, we're treating them like young adults. We expect them to communicate. But it's really important to keep those families engaged and involved in their child's education. So this was another one that was kind of because of some of the challenges that we're facing. And then this last one was how we change the perceptions. Perception is reality for a lot of people. And so how do we get the right message out to stakeholders? So I'm going to look at our activities here, starting with my district level activities. First thing here under vision and goals was I served on our KISA accreditation team, and I will continue to be a part of that team. We are entering into year 1, and we had an on-site visit where it was really a really nice, engaging process. It was really nice to sit down and visit with other educators and professionals about all the great things that we're doing at Valley Heights, and to make a plan on how we're going to move forward and how we're going to improve. We did choose rigor and relationships as 2 of our goal areas for first cycle of accreditation, and I do know that I will be helping with the rigor part of that and being part of the rigor team on how we're going to attack that goal. I also led a data analysis day. Data analysis and data is kind of one of my things. I love to look at those numbers. As part of our district leadership team, they asked me, hey, we've been collecting all of this data. We need to dig into it. We need to find out what it means, and we need to use it to make decisions moving forward. And so I helped plan that day, plan the agenda. I prepared data, compiled surveyed results, and I created some data analysis worksheets. There's a survey reflection form there. And we really had some great conversations about data and how we're going to use it moving forward. This next piece is I was co-chair of a math curriculum committee. And so we went through a curriculum adoption process. We crosswalked standards, things like that. Also part of a literacy plan team where we developed a literacy plan. And then I oversaw family engagement survey, making sure those were being submitted. And the results, disseminating the results. Elementary, I had quite a few more elementary activities just because I'm wanting to do elementary and or secondary. So there's quite a few activities here in elementary. Taking some time to load, but I had the 6 district activities, and then I split the remaining in between elementary and secondary, just because I want to either building I'm good with, but I really, so that's why I kind of split those between elementary and secondary. So we'll look at my secondary here as well. One of the most enlightening, I guess, activities that I did here at the secondary level is we had a student that threatened school violence. I'm trying to find that one here. And so I really sat in and just, I didn't do any of the like discipline and stuff, but I just sat in as part of the entire process, so that, I was aware like of a very serious situation and, had that experience, moving forward. Our superintendent and our, secondary principal did most of the talking and things like that. But wow, this was very enlightening activity. I really never thought that something like this was going to happen here at our school. So I was very glad for this opportunity that my superintendent and principal asked me to sit in on this. And really kind of gave me some great tools to have in my back pocket for any time a very serious situation comes up. So lots of activities. I was very nervous about getting those completed in 150 hours, but it really wasn't as daunting as I thought it would be once I jumped in and got going. Here's my log of activities. And in fact, I had a whole notebook page of activities that I didn't log, because I had met the hours. And then here's my, superintendent signed. And then the last piece here that I want to talk about is my reflection. So really looking back on my coursework, I was so excited to get started and impacting an entire building versus just a classroom. I talk here about the 150 hours and how it was daunting, but how it really, really became something that I really enjoyed. Think, okay, what am I going to do today on an administrative level? Because things were different on a day-to-day basis. And I was so happy that my district embraced, hey, Emily's wanting to do this next step, and really something would come up. Hey, let's bring Emily into this. How can we include her? And then my plan of study, where I look at, talk about all the courses here. And on some of these, I didn't list activities because I'm taking those classes right now. But as I finish those, I plan to plug those in so I have a complete portfolio for myself moving forward. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up. I really enjoyed all of my coursework and valued the requirement of doing this ePortfolio. I feel like it was a great way to pull it all together in a nice format that we can use moving forward. Thank you for your time.